All right. Hi, Amazon seller. How's it going? Bad? Gotcha. Yeah. Amazon fees are increasing, returns are through the roof. Amazon Deep, completely fine units is unsellable. Everything is a complete chaos. I got you, bro. I got you. Cause I'm an Amazon seller myself. We've been selling on Amazon for God only knows how many years. So as of now, we sell across 17 countries, have a 5 million revenue. But the topic of this video, just to show what an amazing platform we've got. Okay, so our team internally built up the Amazon metric processor. It's flawless. It's beautiful. It's omnipotent. It has all of the features that any FBA seller wants. And this purpose of this video is just to get you introduce yourself, to introduce this platform to you. Sorry. So again, it's called Proper Amazon Metric Processor, PROPAMP.AI. And this short video, I would like to show you the main control center that I'm currently sharing with you. It basically connects to your sales central across all of the countries where you are present. And you can choose or add how many, as much country as you want, and you can filter it out as you would like, as you wish, across the marketplaces, across the product, across the time frames, you name it. You just can play around whatever you choose. It has a default settings like default periods like today, yesterday, 7 days, 30 days, quarter, whatever. Pretty straightforward, right? Let me show you week today. And again, it sucks the data from Amazon Seller Central using the API and shows you the little performance that you currently had on the platform within a particular period. And we also has a beautiful, nice Sunky chart that shows you how much of it organic sales, advertising sales you had, how much of all of the expenses were your cost of goods sold, how much of the total expenses you incurred in the marketplace, being advertising, PPC, sponsored brand, sponsored videos, refunds, FBA fees, whatever, you name it, all of that. And eventually, if you have this green candle, that is a good news. Because it is red. When it is red, it is bad. It means that you had a loss. We luckily last week had a profit of almost 2K, which is good. But it's across 3 marketplaces, but we are selling across 17. But let me show you an example how it works in the United States, for example. Just I know not all of the sellers are presented across the globe as we are, but yeah, the United States marketplace will be our guinea pig. You see, last week was terrible because basically it was a storage expense taken out from the account, which brings us to another really important issue of the fees that Amazon takes from the account. So we distinguish those fees in 3 different categories. There would be like account fees, which goes directly to your account. Let's say subscription, or let's say you paid the strategic account manager services or whatever. So any fees that could not be distilled into a particular ASIN are considered to be account-wide fees. But if you have a product fees being like, as you see, last 2 weeks, FBA fee, referral fees, storages, warehouses, refunds or whatnot. So any fees that can be collected through the ASIN and attributed to particular ASIN, we call it as a product fees. And the third type of fees is a COGS fees. In PROPAMP.AI accounting approach, we consider cost of goods sold being implemented and inputted within the purchase orders and shipments. I got a bunch of videos about it, and I'm gonna do more about them. But for example, if you have delivery with AGL, or you pay Amazon for inbound process to inbound process where Amazon takes your inventory in one particular fulfillment center, you can incur those kind of fees into the COGS, so it will calculate your cost of goods sold, incurring that kind of expense. Does it make sense? So in other words, when you have those particular expenses, we show them, but we don't subtract them from the gross sales that you're having, in order to show you the precise gross profit. So let me show you an example. Scroll down here and we go to this particular ASIN, right? So this particular ASIN has a history timeline of a cost of goods sold, right? And you can notice that it distinguished into two parts, blue and red. Blue part is the supplier portion of the price. So basically the amount of the money that we pay to the suppliers, whether it be like the full supplier or just the supplier who assembles your units. Because, for example, in our case, we pay for the boxes. We buy boxes from a third party because they make better boxes. And the red part here is the shipment cost. It's the cost that we incur across the shipment to deliver this purchase order. Make sense? Makes sense. And the shipment cost... shipment cost can be a little bit ambiguous, because sometimes you have an X-ray fee, you have a detention fee, you have a fee of filling fee, custom declaration fee, and whatnot. So it's a kind of a mess. So we have the opportunity, we give the opportunity to the user to implement those of kind of a costs within a shipment in order to make the accounting more easier. Make sense? Makes sense. So, for example, in this particular case, we have a costs like four different costs: the shipment, custom declaration, cross-docking. And those type of costs, they can be distributed across all of the ASINs that have been delivered in a different manner, right? For example, if you want to make a custom declaration cost, obviously the custom declaration depends on the price of the unit that you declare. So you put the distribution method by price. If you put the shipping most likely being charged by the volume, sometimes by weight, but in our case it's by the volume, so we put the volume here. And if we scroll down to the shipment, this is the shipment for 903 units. We attribute all of those costs, and those costs are distilled per unit cost this way. So we have the landed cost eventually. You see, for example, this column says the procurement cost. This is how much we pay to the supplier. Then we, on top of that, we put a different kind of a costs to each of the ASINs. Makes sense? So we end up being like a landed cost in the end. I hope it all makes sense, right? For me, it makes sense. It's like, but I'm doing this 8 years. That's why it makes sense. That's sometimes how I feel selling on Amazon. Either way, each shipment has a nice summary right here, where you can see how much was paid to the supplier, how much was paid to the shipment, and you can see the distribution of how much costs you as a seller incurred across different type of costs. And this is the holy grail of Amazon selling. You know why? Because we are at the point in time where you simply cannot increase prices anymore. The people will not buy it, or you will just spend more time advertising your stuff, funneling your profit to the Amazon PPC. So the other way, the one and only way to increase margin in Amazon these days is to control your costs. Control your costs that you incur. That's it. And PROPAMP.AI helps you to do that. It's specifically designed to show your profit drains. I'll just tell you our own example, right? So We went down through the supply chain of production of our product, and we just found a particular things that we could replace ourselves. That being a box. We just found that our supplier buys the box like $3 per each box, which is ridiculously a high price. So we found the supplier of the boxes, contract them, and they now make boxes for $1.81. So it's like half of the price. You know, it doesn't sound too much. You know, we reduced the price from $3 to $1.8, right? But if we're selling 50,000 units per year, it's 50,000 multiplied by 1.2. It's 60,000 in revenue annually, right away. You see how it works? So the PROPAMP.AI helps you to kind of like dismantle your supply chain or your cost chain and find all of your profit drains that you are currently having. All right. It's just a little sneak peek of a different stuff that we have. For example, we have statistics and metrics. We are Amazon metric processor, right? So this is the proper metrics that we have. You can see the CPA, the ACOS, the tag cost, the days inventory in hand, the value of the inventory, of how much inventory you have at the same time, the velocity of the sales of each week, the average sales price, the minimum and maximum price, the markup, the margin, the everything, okay? But I'll be talking about this later, all right? I know life is hard. The FBA selling is hard. Everything is hard this day, but that's part of the journey. Okay, so hit the link in the description. Again, this is a proper Amazon metric processor, the specifically designed platform for the sellers to show you all of your profit drains. It's completely free until the end of the year. I will personally onboard your platform or your store and your ASIN and show you how that everything works. All right, thank you so much. So long, and thank you for all the fish. Bye.